Welcome back to session 2 of our module exploring the topic of how to translate vision into reality. Last time we looked at the first 2 stages in the process of how to do so. The first stage is conception, which is when a leader receives a vision from God by revelation. It is conceived within them. Stage 2 is incubation, where the vision begins to grow and form within the leader. Now, up to this point, no one else knows what's going on in the heart and mind of the leader. But what happens then? Stage 3, formulation or strategizing stage. A third stage in the fulfillment of a God-given vision is the formulation stage. Now that the leader has conviction and clarity about their God-given vision, they begin to shape the vision with a number of core and capable leaders, which some churches call the vision team. Let's break this point down into a number of important steps. A. Choose a core vision team very carefully and prayerfully, although you may have an existing eldership, oversight or vision team. The term vision team is an all-encompassing term for the body, whatever it may be called in your context, which develops and implements the vision with you. And here are some qualities for choosing members of a vision team. Proven personal relationship. The individuals you choose have demonstrated their commitment and loyalty to the church or ministry. Big thinkers. Select people who are not incapacitated by small or limited thinking. Possess active faith. Each member of the team should exhibit a genuine faith to actively believe for what God has placed in your heart. Skilled and experienced. Choose people with different skills, especially skills that complement yours as the senior leader. Competent and committed to translate vision into reality. Each one should have the capacity and willingness to execute the vision through to its completion. Spiritual and kingdom-minded. Handpick people who exemplify a genuine spirituality and possess a kingdom mindset. B. Articulate the vision. Write the vision down succinctly and in a clear, self-explanatory fashion. Then present it to the vision team or whichever body you are working with. Allow the members of the vision team to ask questions so they get clarity in their own minds. Don't be insecure about the process, but welcome questions so that each member of the team can gain a sense of understanding and ownership of the vision. Remember too, that no one will ever see the vision the same way that you do. Why? Because they didn't receive a revelation. You did. Your job is to articulate and embody it. Keep going over it until the team gets or sees it as best they can. C. Shape the vision. Once the vision team have caught the vision as best they can, the next step is to meet as a team on a regular basis to shape the vision. Now, there is no right or wrong time frame for these regular meetings. It depends on many variables, but allow sufficient time to discuss and think through all the aspects of the vision. Discuss the following questions. What will the vision look like? Picture, envision it. How are we going to get there? Plan it, which I'll enlarge upon in the next point. Who is going to do what? Identify the right people for the appropriate tasks. For example, a minute taker, someone who will do correspondence or research, for example. When are we going to implement it? That is, working out the time frame. Are we going to implement it immediately or progressively? And here are some further suggestions for the actual meetings themselves. Have a standard agenda for every meeting. Ensure it has been distributed prior to each gathering. Appoint a chairperson to guide the conversations. Keep accurate and detailed minutes of each meeting. Rigorously keep the meetings focused, systematically review and summarize the discussions to date. When you and the team feel that you have a solid grasp on the shape of the vision, it is time for the next step, which is D, strategic planning. Now that you have shaped the vision, the most important part of this whole stage is planning the process of implementing the vision. This is called strategic planning. Some ministry leaders regard strategic planning as unspiritual, but as alluded to in an earlier lesson, strategic planning is a response to God-given vision. It is how a leader is going to execute the vision which God has placed in their heart. And even though vision comes from God, it needs to be responded to in a strategic way. Strategic planning and actions are a leader's response to God-given vision. I personally believe that strategic planning is the missing link in most churches. Some pastors and leaders I know have vision that they can articulate, and they have great faith and passion, but it never seems to come to pass. And when you ask them how they are going to accomplish the vision, they generally don't have stated specific plans. And sadly, many vision-filled leaders never see the fulfillment of their God-given vision. They're often faith-filled, prayerful, and godly women and men, but they've never taken the time, or perhaps lacked the skill, to plan and develop people and translate vision into tangible action steps. So here is a suggested step-by-step process in strategic planning. Researching. Conduct a ruthlessly honest assessment of how things are at the moment. Vision portrays how things will be, but an honest assessment details how things are presently. Conduct an accurate audit of the ministry or church's present resources, both people and physical. The purpose of the audit is twofold. First, to find out what current resources you have for the future vision, and secondly, to identify what resources are needed to fulfill the vision. I also suggest you conduct a SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Or deputize some of the team to visit other ministries or churches to research how they have processed a similar vision, and then collate and summarize and reflect on the results from above. Then planning. Formulate a step-by-step sequential process for how the vision will be implemented. Be detailed and specific. Determine a realistic time frame for when each progressive step is to be achieved or implemented. For example, research completed, leaders trained, or the public launch of the vision. Determine who will do what, be specific and detailed, and write clear roles and responsibilities. Determine individual goals, record when tasks are to be completed. Determine a training program for the leaders and volunteers. Plan the financial implications of the vision with the church board or council. Review the plan to ascertain whether any new procedure or structure needs to be adopted or adapted. Set goals to measure the implementation of each step, and review the strategic plan in detail so that all the vision team sign off on it. The strategic planning phase may take many months. It's actually wiser to take considerable time in the planning stage. This will ensure the overall plan and its implementation is well developed and enacted. It is leaders who initiate strategic planning, implement the action plans, delegate responsibility, set the timeframes, then monitor those who have been delegated with a responsibility or task to ensure it's done effectively and on time. This is a key component of what leaders do and what will distinguish someone as a leader. And it will require a disciplined use of time, a disciplined approach to leading people, and disciplined thought processes. And then E, explain the vision to the key leaders and vision bearers. Once the process of strategic planning is completed, the next step is to explain the vision to the key leaders within the congregation who will carry a direct responsibility for its implementation. This communication should come from you as the senior leader, preferably one-on-one or in very small, intimate groups of key leaders. I suggest you refer back to point B for ideas on how to articulate the vision. Explain it in as much detail as possible how the strategic plan relates to their area of ministry. Ensure they understand what they are responsible to do and achieve. Delegate responsibility, empowering people to execute the vision according to the strategic plan. Importantly, up to this point, the general congregation is not aware of the vision or the strategic plan. It is not public knowledge. It is all done behind closed doors, although from time to time you may consult with some key players or influencers in the church or the ministry. So far, We've covered 3 phases of 6 stages of translating a vision into reality. Stage 1, conception. The leader receives a vision from God. Stage 2, incubation. The vision grows within a leader's heart and mind. Stage 3, formulation. The leader builds a team around themselves to help craft, shape, strategize, and communicate the vision. And we'll explore the remaining stages next time. See you then, and God bless.